Alright, let's talk the rest of the new Gen 11. So as it was stated from Blue Lock Chapter 303, the new Gen 11 and their teams were finally announced. Those teams being none other than Germany, France, Spain, England, Italy, Egypt, Brazil, Japan, Morocco, US, and China. As it stands, we already know Germany's, we already know Italy's, and we know Japan. Kaiser, Lorenzo, Sai. And side note, I think it's pretty funny they're showing Loki here of all times, especially with the new Gen 11, even though he's not a new Gen 11, which implies that he and a new Gen 11 on France's team are probably going to dominate. So as we already know, for Germany, it's Kaiser, he's a striker. For Italy, it's Don Lorenzo, he is a defender. And for Japan, it is Saitoshi, who is a midfielder. With that being said, I'm gonna try to theorize what other positions each new Gen player will play for their respective countries. Right off the bat, I'm almost 110% sure China's gonna be the one with the goalkeeper. You know, the Great Wall, everything, the wall implying that there's nothing that can go through it. It kind of makes sense for a goalkeeper. Now, for France, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a defender. We already have a midfielder, and we already have a striker, that being Loki and Charles. I feel like if you want to complete the list, or maybe a winger, I don't know. If you want to complete the list, there you go. But something is desperately telling me that it's a defender. Like, I don't know why, but it just is. I want to say it's either a goalkeeper, a midfielder, or a defender. As for the national team, I don't think Saitoshi plays for the national team, or the U20 team, or whatever. Only plays for Real. So the possibility of there being another midfielder aside from Saitoshi being a part of the new Gen 11, I think it's possible. But at the same time, I want to say that the new Gen 11 player is a defender. That or a goalie. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those two. Next, we have England, which I think is either going to be a striker or a potential defender. I could also say midfielder because, you know, Jude Bellingham, but I don't see that. Again, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's either a striker or a defender. Next, we have Egypt, which is very interesting. No Argentina or anything else. I mean, very interesting. Now, there is a possibility that there's more than one goalie, and I feel like that other goalie might come from Egypt. I have nothing to go off of that. I just feel like it's intuition. But that intuition might be wrong because there's like a gut feeling that's telling me it is, but also isn't. 'Cause I really can't think of any other position that Egypt would be really, really good at in terms of Blue Lock related to the new Gen 11. Other than like maybe a winger. But I don't know. I'm gonna stick with that. That seems about right. Next we have Brazil, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea. This is a jack of all trades. Brazil is a dangerous country when it comes to soccer in general. This could be any position ever. I cannot single out a single position that a new Gen 11 player would play. They could do anything. Except for that game against Germany back in the day, we don't talk about. But this one, I can't give you a solid definitive answer. I cannot. Brazil is known for their soccer, and every position is like insane. They are a powerhouse. Maybe I'm glazing, okay? I probably am. But at the same time, am I really? So your guess is as good as mine. I can't give you an answer on this one. I think it would be cool if it was an actual attacker, like a striker or a midfielder. But a defender would also be good too. Next we have Morocco, and just like Egypt, I'm gonna assume it has something to do with the defender. This is kind of that like left field black sheep kind of country, because this is just put in there, really. If anything, maybe a winger or a midfielder. And last but certainly not least, we've got the good old great country of the United States of America. I know damn well they're gonna make this a striker position. There's no way they don't. They're gonna make this dude OP as all hell. Like, this dude's gonna be great on the pitch. I know how Japan works. They glaze the shit out of anything American related. Same thing when it comes to America. They glaze the shit out of Japan. So you know that this game is going to be insane when they play one another, which I'm sure they're gonna play one another. And I can already tell you what the character's gonna look like. He's gonna look like a golden boy. I know that much. Probably country. Maybe. Blue eyes, blonde hair, you know how that all is. Think of it like an Adam Blake and a Chris Prince mixed into one. That's basically what he's gonna look like. But he's a striker. Striker through and through. There's no way he's not. But yeah, that's my prediction for the players in the U20 World Cup. Also had an epiphany. What are the odds that one of the new Gen 11 players aren't actually players, but one of them might be a coach? Is there any indication that that's not the case? I don't think it's ever been stated. Do they have to be on the field to be considered new Gen 11? Or can they be a coach and also be considered new Gen 11? I'm thinking about it. Maybe that might work. I don't know. We'll see.